All right, I'm starting on page 12, Rocks, Pebbles, and Sand. Before you start writing your own story, I would like to set the stage by retelling a story I have heard and told many times. It's a story about rocks, pebbles, sand, and a mason jar. A teacher places a mason jar filled with rocks in front of his class and asks if the jar is full. Yes, the kids say. He takes a pail with similar pebbles and pours them into the jar, shaking it until they fill the spaces between the rocks. Is the jar full? He asks. Yes, they say again. The teacher then adds a scoop of sand to the jar. The grains fall between the larger and smaller rocks. Is the mason jar full? He asks. The class inspects the jar. There is no more room for anything else. The teacher smiles, grabs a pitcher with water, and proceeds to fill the jar to the brim. The teacher explains that the demonstration is an analogy. He tells them that the jar is your life. The rocks are the big things in your life, such as family, your partner, your health, your hopes and dreams. The pebbles are the other things that give life meaning, like friendships, a job, hobbies. And the sand and the water are the small things that fill in the rest of our time. The point of the demonstration is that if you fill your life with the small stuff, how will you ever be able to put in the big important stuff? Everything fits in the jar, just like the components of your life, but you need to consider how the small stuff fits around the bigger things and not vice versa. I love this story for several reasons. Its principal lesson is the very building block of the Habits of Health transformational system. Life is a series of choices, and some of them are more important than others. As you will soon learn, it is the prioritization of those choices that creates the motivation which drives everything you can accomplish. Since the origin of the story is unknown, I'm going to adopt the visual analogy it offers and make it a way of explaining and describing our system. It is the perfect structure to visualize and empower your new story and your journey. The reality is that we live in obscene, I don't even know that word, world, like obesity, like obesogenic world surrounded by so many things that can have damaging effects on our weight and our health. As I describe in part 1.1 of Dr. A's Habits of Health, it's not your fault that you're struggling with your weight, your health, and your well-being. And this chaotic, unhealthy, fast food-filled, stressful world is not going to change in the near future. The Habits of Health transformational system is like the mason jar, as it creates a microenvironment of health to protect you from your unhealthy surroundings. The macro habits of health are the foundations of optimal health and well-being. These 6 key foundational categories are like the rocks. We will place them into the jar first to create lifelong transformation and to protect you from the modern world's negative side effects. Addressing all 6 of these macro habits of health is critical. Taking time to focus and place these rocks in our jar is the first step in building the foundation necessary for our long-term success. If we fail to tackle each of these keystones of our microenvironment of health, the structure will be weakened and decrease our chances to withstand the effects of our modern world. Next, we have to introduce the primary and secondary habits that are derived from the 6 macro habits. These are the pebbles. These actions surround, reinforce, and actually arise from the foundational rocks. These habits of health can be further broken down into the micro habits of health, which are extremely small positive actions. They're so small that we can always do them. Micro habits are the thousands of small choices that are a part of our daily life. For example, we make over 200 decisions about food each day, and each micro action either adds to our health and life or detracts from it. The sand, therefore, represents what appears to be insignificant choices on their own, But when placed in the jar and mixed with water, they become the concrete that makes the jar rock solid and formidable force against any external challenges to your health and well-being. How to use your life book. Think of this guide as a combination of a guidebook and a personal journal. I would encourage you to make it as personal as possible. You can attach photos of your progress, write about your success, your challenges, or sketch a favorite meal. The key thing is that the life book is special to you. Each element will have a central theme and a goal and will end with a review of that principle and how you have applied it to your life. Each principle builds on the previous one to lay a foundation for your daily life. Once learned and installed, we can step up on your path to give you a firm footing for your ascent to optimal health and well-being. If you have a coach or professional helping you, they will help make sure you have mastered each element before you move on to the next. They have been trained to help you get the most from your life book and the process. Your life book is designed to accompany you throughout your day so you can take notes, refer back to key takeaways later. This will be important to remember breakthroughs and insights and to identify triggers from which future days can be built. Your life book will also allow you to track your progress. So, fill it with notes on experiences, maybe even setbacks. It will help you remember the key things that you're working on. It cannot be said enough that reviewing your notes, events that lead to aha moments, and just coordinated repetition will allow you to go over where you are in your element and in your journey. This can also lead to amazing breakthroughs. This knowledge is most valuable when you decide to become through the act of doing, which will lead to the results you are really after. Not only should you review your current and completed elements often, but you should also share your insights and thoughts with your coach or mentor. What I really hope is that your life book ends up on your nightstand, so you will transcribe your key thoughts from the day into it as one of your habits, whether it's expressing your gratitude, a list of key takeaways, notes, or reminders of how you will start your day tomorrow. It should become a part of your life as you journey to your transformation. Your life book has much in common with a traditional journal, but our approach gives it structure. Each element is a permanent step toward a better understanding. It will equip you with increasing skills and act as a reference so you can proceed safely on your climb to optimal health and well-being. Each element will have enough structure and formation for you to master it. And if you're not used to writing things down and journaling, it took me a while to get used to this when I first started. It will give you default boxes to check off when you make progress and provide questions to assist you on your journey. Using your life book is a key habit of health that you can successfully install. It will become an automated part of your day, like all the other habits of health. Your life book is designed to chronicle your first year of building your new, healthier life. It will also document your increasingly mastery of the key elements as you become a higher version of yourself. Therefore, there are 26 progressive elements for the next 52 weeks, which gives you on average 2 weeks to get through an element. Some of the lessons you will be able to complete sooner. Some may take longer. There's no set schedule because we want you to proceed at your own pace. I will provide an average time I think is reasonable to complete each element simply for your reference. A quick look inside your life book. Your life book has been designed to be as interactive as possible. That's about you writing in it, carrying it around with you, and turning to it when you need inspiration, advice, or a reminder about how far you've come. Let's take a quick look at how each element works. First, each element starts by setting goals and being clear on why it matters. 2, we'll ask you to write about your experiences so far. 3, we'll tell you what you learn, what you're going to learn. 4, we include lots of helpful tips and advice. 5, you'll see references to the main Habits of Health book. That's your other book. And 6, your coach will help assist you to master each element. If you're ready to start, proceed to the first element. For those of you who have already started the journey and are losing weight and getting healthier, congratulations. We can pick up from here because The journey to optimal health and well-being isn't just about restricted period of time when you are losing weight. It's about fundamentally changing your habits one at a time until you have created sustainable transformation. Those new habits will provide a micro environment of health to armor and protect you against whatever this crazy world throws at you for the rest of your life. In health, Dr. Wayne Scott Anderson.